It's a strange feeling, isn't it? To do everything you were told was right and still end up in the wrong place. For years, I was that person. My name is James. From the outside, I had the life many people dream of. A respectable job in a glass tower downtown, a salary that climbed steadily each year, a modern apartment with a view of the city lights. I wore sharp clothes, drove a car that was probably too expensive, and never missed a night out with friends. I was earning good money. I thought I was winning, but every month I felt a quiet, gnawing anxiety. The paycheck would arrive, and just as quickly it would vanish, swallowed by rent, car payments, credit card bills, and a lifestyle I felt obligated to maintain. I was running faster and faster just to stay in the same place. I wasn't building anything. I was just maintaining an appearance. The problem was, I had confused income with wealth. I believed that a high salary would automatically lead to financial freedom. I was wrong. I was living a life of active income, where every dollar I had was a direct result of an hour I worked. The moment I stopped working, the money would stop. That was the invisible cage I had built for myself. I was buying things I thought were assets, but they were liabilities in disguise. The new car, the latest technology, the designer clothes, they didn't put money in my pocket, they took it out. My financial life was a bucket filled with holes, and my solution was just to pour water in faster. The turning point didn't come from a stock tip or a financial guru. It came from a simple, quiet conversation with an older colleague, a man named Arthur who was getting ready to retire. He wasn't flashy. He drove a modest car and lived in a neighborhood I'd never considered. Yet, there was a deep sense of peace about him. One afternoon, over coffee, I confessed my frustration. I told him I felt like I was on a treadmill. He listened patiently, then he looked at me and said something that changed my life. He said, "James, you work hard for your money. When will you make your money work hard for you?" It was so simple, yet it hit me with the force of a revelation. He explained the difference, the one that truly matters, the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset, he said, is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out. My life was filled with liabilities. His was filled with assets, small rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, investments that fed him while he slept. That was the moment my mindset shifted. I realized that financial freedom wasn't about how much you earn, but about how much your assets earn for you. It's not about the size of your paycheck, but the strength of your cash flow. That realization was the beginning of a slow, deliberate journey. I didn't do anything drastic. I just started making small, intentional changes based on a few core principles. First, I made it my mission to build my asset column. Before, my salary would go to expenses and liabilities first. I flipped the script. A portion of every paycheck now went directly into an investment account before I paid for anything else. It was for buying assets, nothing else. It was a small amount at first, but it was a start. Second, I embraced the power of a long-term mindset. I stopped looking for the next big thing and started investing in solid, established companies and index funds. I wasn't trying to get rich quick. I was trying to build wealth slowly, patiently, and predictably. I learned that the market's daily fluctuations were just noise. The real growth, the kind that builds fortunes, happens over decades, not days. It required patience, a virtue I had never prioritized. Finally, I became obsessed with cash flow. I started tracking every dollar, not to budget myself into misery, but to understand where my money was going. Knowledge is power, and for the first time, I felt powerful. I saw how much was being drained by liabilities. Slowly, I started cutting them down. I sold the expensive car and bought a reliable used one. I cooked at home more. I stopped buying things to impress people I barely knew. Each dollar I saved from a liability was another soldier I could send to work for me in my asset column. This journey wasn't glamorous. There were no overnight successes. It was a quiet, disciplined process. It was years of saying no to instant gratification so I could say yes to future freedom. But as my asset column grew, something incredible happened. A small stream of passive income started to flow in. At first, it was just a few dollars from dividends. Then, a little more. It wasn't enough to live on, not even close. But it was proof. It was money I didn't have to trade my time for. And the feeling that came with it wasn't excitement, it was peace. It was the feeling of security, of knowing that I was building a foundation, brick by brick. The anxiety that used to haunt me began to fade. I started sleeping better. My work became a choice, not a necessity. That is a freedom that no luxury car can ever buy. Wealth, I've learned, is not about having a lot of money. It's about having a lot of options. It's the freedom to choose how you spend your time, the most valuable asset of all. The journey begins not in your bank account, but in your mind. It starts the moment you decide to stop being a consumer and start being an owner. It starts when you understand that your money can either be your master or it can be your most loyal employee. The choice is yours.